Now, I'm kind of new to like the whole internet scene. I was the type of person that wouldn't really get into what people were talking about on the internet because before I had time to put up videos on YouTube, I used to work all the time and just focus on staying ahead financially. And that was my whole prerogative. And so now that I have time to pay attention to what's going on the internet, and now that I see that it's actually beneficial, I've been paying attention to how people respond to people like me. So, what I mean specifically is that for some reason, Black people in America is a hot button topic. Like, I don't know what's so intriguing about us. I mean, you can always look at our celebrities, our politician, and even our histories. Um, and, I don't know. I just felt like, see, it's different when you're in the workforce. I mean, yeah, people have issues, people have their differences, but if you're as competitive as I am, a lot of what other people are doing don't really phase you. One thing that really popped out to me was this whole FBA thing, the Foundational Black Americans. And, I was intrigued by it, and it was mainly championed by this man named Tariq Nasheed. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, I remember him from Hidden Colors. He did this documentary called Hidden Colors. And I was like, yeah, yeah, that's cool. Now he's doing this whole FBA thing. And it's not just him, it's a lot of other people. But he's like the one who I feel like spearheaded it. And, you know, basically he defines what FBA is.
We are not a damn immigrant group. We are native born, ethnic, foundational black Americans created right here on this soil. We had a unique ethnogenesis.
Now, the reason why that definition is so important to me personally, when I think about FBA, that really helps me personally. The reason why is because I don't know why, but I want to go back to when I was in the Air Force and I was at a really weird base. And there was always a conversation about race there. And so, naturally, people in the United States, they segregate. It's not a weird thing. I mean, and it's not just in the United States. It is normal to gravitate towards people that you're most comfortable with. Naturally, you're going to gravitate towards people who look like you. That's just the fact. That's not being racist. That's not being tribal. You gravitate to whatever it is that is closest to you, especially when you're in a situation like a military member who just got out of boot camp and additional training. Now you're at your first duty station. Here's the issue: you would have different ethnic groups lump in with one another, but there would be something very interesting about Black Americans who would lump in, and then other African Americans. And oftentimes, the other Americans of African descent who were not American would distinguish themselves from us. Like they would talk down about Black Americans. Now, it's not an unfamiliar thing that Africans don't like Black Americans. That's not weird. That didn't throw me off because I was used to it. I was used to Africans, being the way that they are towards us. But I thought it would be different because, now it's like, even when you look at me, like I have a lot of, African features. A lot of us, we look similar. A lot of times they would gravitate towards me thinking that I was from an African country, or even the way that I carried myself compared to the other African American girls. The fact that I wore my natural hair, the fact that everything wasn't about the white man every other sentence. It made a lot of Africans think that I could probably be one of them. And then when I would tell them, oh no, my folks from South Carolina, then it would be like a light switch just got switched off. And don't let two Africans from the same country or the same tribe realize that you ain't one of them as an African American. It's a whole problem. This whole FBA thing, it really helped me a lot because it helped me understand that there is a difference between Black Americans and Black Americans of African descent or from other countries. Like, even Jamaicans, some Jamaicans will look down on Black Americans, Haitians, they look down on Black Americans. And for the longest time, Black people, we've been dealing with that. And we've been putting up with it. We've been tolerating it. But now we're getting to a point where we're like, you know what? You don't have to tell me that I'm not one of you no more. Okay? We're just going to go ahead and accept the fact that you're different from us too. Because for the longest time, we were just like, Mother Africa, we as Black African people need to stand together, da 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 da. But the minute that it doesn't benefit these other groups, they look down on us. So now we're just like, okay, we need to step back as FBAs. We need to distinguish ourselves from them. Now, I know there are a lot of people that consider themselves foundational Black Americans, and sometimes they can use it for like xenophobic purposes. I get it. Yeah, people are gonna do what people do, but I appreciate it because it makes me more comfortable knowing that when I do get treated badly by people with African phenotypes, that at least I have a group as a Black American, African American, Afro American, however they want to call it, to where I can be proud of my history instead of having somebody from another country coming over here telling me, oh, you're just the descendant of slaves. Because that's not all I am.